Hello students, welcome back to the second part of the lecture on radio frequency and transmission lines. The learning objectives of this video is that students should be able to explain the concept of standing wave ratio, wave velocity, characteristics impedance, reflection coefficient, return loss, and some special cases of terminated transmission lines, and also they should be able to calculate the transmission line parameters. So let's continue from our previous video that we have obtained the solution of the second order transmission line equations as V of Z is going to be A into e raised to minus gamma Z plus B into e raised to plus gamma Z. So this solution consists of two parts. The first part indicates the wave which is in the positive Z direction, or we call it as a forward wave, and the second part indicates the wave in the negative Z direction. We call this as a backward wave. So if A and B are V0 plus and V0 minus, where V0 indicates the magnitude of forward and backward wave. So for forward wave we write down the suffix as plus, and for backward it is minus. So therefore the solution of the voltage across the transmission line is V of Z is going to be addition of these two parts. One indicates the equation of voltage for a forward wave, and second part indicates equation of voltage for the backward wave, which is shown in the diagram. So this is my forward wave going in the positive direction of Z axis, and a backward wave which is going at the along the negative Z direction of the Z axis. So on the transmission line I have forward wave which is along the positive Z direction, and I have a backward wave along the negative Z direction. So at all instants I have these two waves present on the transmission line. So therefore if I superimpose these two waves, then I am going to get a stationary pattern which we call it as a standing wave. So therefore a interaction of incident and reflected wave. Incident wave is forward wave and reflected wave is a backward wave. So interaction of incident and reflected wave on the transmission line results into standing wave. So we will find this kind of pattern on the transmission line, which we call it as a standing wave pattern. Let us understand what is phase velocity. So if I consider a forward wave which is going in the positive Z direction, and it's a continuous wave, and it consists of an infinite number of points on the along the Z axis, and if I look at only one point, then I'll imagine that this point is moving at some velocity. So the velocity of a point or a phase that moves with a wave as it propagates in a medium is called as a phase velocity. It is written as Vp, and it can be calculated as omega upon beta. Omega is a angular frequency, and beta is phase constant. Now let us see what is characteristic impedance Z0. So as the wave propagates in the Z direction, it's going to experience some kind of opposition as it moves down the line, and that opposition is called as a characteristic impedance, and it is written as Z0. So if I consider the equations of voltage for a positively flowing wave, and a equation for current for a negatively flowing wave, then the ratio of these two equations will give me Z0. So Z0 is V plus Z upon I plus Z, which can be written as V0 plus upon I0 plus. So it is a ratio of the magnitudes of voltage and currents, and therefore it is a number and it is not a function of Z. Similar is applied or applicable for a backward traveling wave. So Z0 minus Z0 is ratio of V minus Z upon I minus Z. That is the ratio of magnitudes of voltage and current along the negative Z direction. Z0 can also be calculated as a ratio of under root of Z upon Y. Now this Z and Y, let us recollect. This Z and Y we have seen in the last video. So Z is R plus J omega L and Y is G plus J omega C. So if I substitute those values in this, I get the next formula for Z0. Now let's talk of lossless transmission line. What do you mean by lossless transmission line? It's a transmission line wherein there are no losses. So we know that the losses are basically incurred due to the R and G component of the transmission line. So therefore for lossless transmission line, the ideal case is R is 0 and G is also 0. So if I substitute R and G 0 in the formula for gamma, that is the formula for gamma let's remember the formula for gamma is under root of Z, capital Z into capital Y. So in this formula I have cancelled R and G being 0. So if I get gamma value as J omega under root of L into C. So therefore from this it is very clear that gamma is going to have only imaginary term that indicates alpha is 0 and beta value is omega into under root of L into C. So we calculate the characteristic impedance Z0 here. The formula, let's recollect, the formula is under root of capital Z upon capital Y. So again here R and G is cancelled being 0. So therefore Z0 comes out to be under root of L by C. Let us see the formula for phase velocity. The phase velocity is calculated by omega upon beta. Let's substitute the value of omega as J as omega into under root of L and C, and therefore we get the formula of Vp as 1 upon under root LC. So this Vp is going to be C. That we can conclude that in the lossless medium, wave propagates in the speed of light. The example of lossless medium is the vacuum. So in vacuum, the electromagnetic waves travels with the speed of light. Let's see some definition. The reflection coefficients, voltage standing wave ratio, current standing wave ratios, and return loss. So what is reflection coefficient? So we know that on the transmission line, if we connect a source of impedance Zin to a load having an impedance ZL through a transmission line, then Z0 is the characteristic impedance of a transmission line. So if a transmission line is terminated to a load whose value is not Z0, then there will be some reflection due to a mismatch. That means ZL is not equal to Z0. In this condition, there will be mismatch and there will be some reflections. That means some part of the incident energy is going to be reflecting back towards source. So deflection coefficient in terms of voltage is find out as tau is equal to V0 minus upon V0 plus. In terms of impedance, the reflection coefficient is calculated as ZL minus Z0 upon ZL minus Z0. So in a line where the terminations is equal to impedance of a line, that means on a transmission line, if it is terminated at a load impedance which is equal to Z0, if I substitute here ZL is going to be Z0, then we will see that tau L is going to be 0. So therefore there will be no reflections on the transmission line and the entire energy will be forward to the load. Voltage standing wave ratio, it's again a measure of mismatch on the line, which we call it as a voltage standing wave ratio, and the abbreviation is VSWR. So how to calculate voltage standing wave ratio is equal to ratio of Vmax and Vmin. So this is the maxima and minima which we get on the standing wave pattern, that is Vmax and Vmin. VSWR in terms of reflection coefficient is 1 plus tau L upon 1 minus tau L. So when tau L is 0, VSWR is 1, that is a perfect match conditions. Return loss. What is return loss? In terms of power, if you talk in terms of power, then the measure of power loss on the transmission line is given by a return loss. So if when the load is mismatched, then some part of the energy is going to be lost, that is not delivered to load. So not all the available power from the generator is delivered to load, and this loss is called as a return loss. So return loss is expressed in dB, and it is calculated as minus 20 log of tau, where tau is ZL minus Z0 upon ZL plus Z0. Now let us consider some special cases of terminated transmission line. So now we are going to terminate the transmission line two different standard load impedances. So first load impedance is 0, which is nothing but short circuited load. So if I connect this transmission line to a load which is short circuit, then tau L is going to be calculated as ZL minus Z0 upon ZL plus Z0. If I substitute ZL is equal to Z0 in this formula, then I get tau L is equal to minus 1. So for short circuited load, the reflection coefficient is minus 1, and at the load I am going to get a 0 voltage. So this will be the waveform for the voltage, and I am going to get maximum current here. Being ZL is equal to 0, I get a maximum current at the load. Let's see the second special case, that is a open circuited load. So now I am going to connect a transmission line to a load which is open. So open indicates infinite load impedance. So the second case is open circuited load, wherein that is ZL is equal to infinite. So in this standard case, if I substitute 1 up ZL as infinity, if I substitute 1 upon ZL as 0 in this formula for tau, then I am going to get tau L as 1. So therefore for open circuited load, the tau is 1, and I am going to get here the current which is going to be 0 here. So I am going to get minima for current, and maximum voltage will be appeared across the load. The next special case is match load. So match load means the transmission line is terminated to a load which is equal to Z0. So my next condition is match load, that is ZL is equal to Z0. That means here the impedance are matched with each other. So if I substitute tau L is equal to ZL minus Z0 upon ZL plus Z0 in this formula, if I substitute, I get tau L as equal to 0, that is no reflections from the load. So all the energy is which is contained in the wave will be transferred to the load, and nothing will be reflected. So these are the special cases to remember, that is short circuit, open circuit and match condition. These are the list of formulas that you should remember to solve the problems in the classroom. Thank you very much.